right. Hello. Welcome to Thursday. How you guys doing? Welcome in. Hope everybody's doing great. We've got some big announcements coming about classes and wait for it. Retreat this fall. So we got some big announcements coming. Yes, I do a newsletter every month. So if you want to jump onto that, I usually put some cool tidbits in there and little secrets about the channel. So if you want to jump on, there's a link in the description box and right on the front of our website to jump on the newsletter. I always put some stuff in there that is kind of behind the scenes. So there we go. And the other thing is, I just want to let you guys know, a lot of you are new to the channel. So I never reach out on Instagram or anywhere else to ask you for a private reading. I never, ever, ever do that. You can be sure that that's a scammer. So, if you take a look at the title of their channel, it's usually there's an extra letter in there or something. Soulful Revolution TV is the name of this channel. And I just want to let you guys know, just ignore, report if you feel called to do so. We would appreciate that. We report as much as we can, but it's really tough on Instagram. They have a ton of scammers over there, mostly because, well, I won't even get into it. All right, let's go. Let's go. Let's see what's going on today. I want to talk a little bit about Mercury in retrograde because when I woke up this morning, there was a very defined message that showed up for me as I was kind of meditating before I did my own reading. And, we talk about Mercury retrograde like, oh no, the emails are going to go to the wrong person and la, 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 la. But it's in Virgo. And I want to say that this has a lot to do with self-talk because Mercury, right? Mercury is about communication and retrograde is internal. So there can be a lot of self-talk and Virgo is about healing. So I just want to put that kind of interesting spin on it. I will write more about that in the newsletter, like I said, so you can get a little bit of a heftier dose of information. Also, it might come through in this reading, so we'll see. All right, my guides are here. Your guys are here. Let's go. Okay. All right. I'm just shuffling like a mad woman here. Let's go. Okay. What wants to come through today, please? Friendship. Friendship, baby. Friendship. Courage, Camille. Courage. Soulmate. Wow. Okay. So I feel like if some of you are going, and we talk a lot about this in our healing group that meets on Wednesdays. Some of you are going through some rough times, and it's not just a matter of having people in your life. I feel like you're going to see that it's a matter of having the right people in your life. And what I mean by that is, before anybody gets mad at me, is people who are supportive, people who are kind, people who are generous, people who are open, people who are loving. And I want to just give you Jen Huber, my shaman friend, and we do the healing group together on Wednesdays. She always talks about when anybody's in your life and you're feeling they're making you responsible for their feelings, or they're being kind of like myopic and they're all about themselves or whatever it is. Because sometimes I'm all about me and, the friends listen. Sometimes they're all about them and I listen, but it's balanced. It's not just one person all the time eating up all the airtime. Okay. So I feel like if you feel that a situation has gotten unloving, meaning not balanced, you can say, and that's might be a new thing, just says, I'm not really available for this conversation. This doesn't feel loving to me. And if that person gets upset or presses you on that, you just tell them I sent you, and you can say, listen, I just feel like this is out of balance right now. I feel like if you have a lot going on, I'm totally here for you and supportive of you. But I feel like the conversations for the past week, past month, past year have been 100% really geared toward you, and I'm feeling a little bit drained by that. You're allowed to say things like that, okay? If there's big things going on in your life, if there's people in your life who are having big things going on, sometimes we are a supportive person for a prolonged period of time. But look at the totality of the relationship. Look at it in the big picture. Sometimes it's 90-10. Sometimes, you're giving 10 and they're giving 90. Sometimes it's the opposite. But if it's never changing, that it's always like 78% you, or 80% you. Anything over 50% is out of balance. And nature wants you to put things into balance right now as we're in Virgo going into Libra. Virgo is about health and healing. So if something feels unloving, it's also not healthy for you. And we're moving into Libra, which is all about balance. Okay. We've got the South Node in Libra right now, which is about accessing past life. And it can be past life karma showing up that you might need some courage to balance. Okay. So that's a big thing going on. Let's see what the reading shows. And we have all kinds of soulmates in our lives for all different reasons. And sometimes the ones that you have to say no to, the ones that get mad and walk away, was there to give you a lesson of what it means to be courageous in your own defense, and what it means to be loving to self. I'm not available for this conversation. Doesn't feel loving to me. That's very much a Jen Huber thing to say. And so I really like that. And I've adopted that more times than I can tell you. So especially this year. So let's see where we're going here. All right. Yeah. 4 of Swords, a little bit of healing here. There's been a lot of water over the dam under the bridge, right? A lot of water over the dam under the bridge. 7 of Pentacles, 4 of Cups. Some of you could be feeling really stuck, but this kind of balance, this kind of, believe in yourself, kind of courageous, taking a stand, being your own best friend, doing your healing work is really what's necessary. I do feel like there's some stuck energy here. And then we have the Chariot, and we have the Star, and we have the Hermit. So this is leading you into that's Virgo, into whatever you're healing for yourself right now. I think the rest of us could use that medicine once you get to the other side of it. Okay. So you might, this is another good reason to journal. You might want to write some notes down. If you are going through something big and you are recognizing that, oh, okay, this is one of those big lessons for me. This is one of the things that I have to learn. Write some notes about it. Get some understanding for yourself. So this is my latest journal, which is seriously, I've totally broken the back of this thing, but it does have to do with believing in myself. It has to do with, you'll be able to tap into the universe's divine plan for you, when you're seeing things from a soul perspective rather than from an ego perspective. An ego perspective says that person's being a jerk to me, so I'm just gonna not answer the phone or something like that. I feel like from a soul perspective, you're like, I love and value your friendship and I'm here for you. This right now feels like too much for me. I'm not really available for it all the time. I can be available like this. Put some boundaries up for yourself. If you're feeling like you're being used is not the right word. If you feel like someone is kind of overstepping your boundaries, and say it, I'm flashing on an episode of Bob Newhart where Jerry, the dentist, okay, this is totally 70s TV, but humor me. So Jerry hires him as his therapist, as his, psychologist. And so now Jerry, it's like they're riding in the elevator to lunch and Jerry expects a session on Saturday night when they're out drinking and all this kind of stuff. And Bob finally says, Jerry, fire me. And he's like, what are you talking about? He said, I miss you. And Jerry's like, what are you talking about? We talk together all the time. Yeah, we talk about you all the time. I miss talking about, the Bears and the Bulls. I miss talking about, my stupid problems too. I miss friendship with you. If someone has turned you into a therapist, it might be good for you to say that, because it is out of balance and that's not really 100% of it. So you got to pull back and look at the big picture. I feel like whatever's going on for you, if you're the one who's having a situation going on, then be really mindful about how much you are, and I'm very mindful about this because I definitely had someone, call and dump on me for a couple of years straight, and it was just too much, over an hour each time. And so pay attention to what you're doing. Wow, the sun's getting really strong. Pay attention to what you're doing with your conversations with people, okay? Pay attention to that. Yes, Ace of Swords, 100% right. World, that's going to make all the difference here. Page of Cups, Eight of Wands, the Five of Cups, Ten of Cups. Oh, that's really nice. Eight of Cups. Look at that. Three of Wands and the Page of Wands. So you're definitely on a new path here. There's definitely something being closed off, or some chapters are ending. Multiple chapters I'm getting. Some people, or I mean, like a whole life structure that you've spent some time building, now that is stuck. I feel like seeing it clearly, and then doing something about it. So it's not really just talking about it. Because talking is good, but then take action. That was my issue with one situation that I was in, that someone was just kept talking about the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over and over, and never really did anything. So about, a couple months into that, I was giving advice, and then I stopped giving advice. And so it became just more talk, talk, talk. And I finally said, would you like my advice? And she was like, yeah, that's why I'm talking. And I'm like, well, I stopped giving my advice about 6 months ago because nothing ever happened, because we're still talking about the same thing that happened 6 months ago. So if you want my advice, I'm going to give my advice, but then let's move on to other topics. I mean, I'm not trying to make your timeline, but I'm also saying this is my boundary. It's like I can say, I get to say what I will do and what I won't do. And what I won't do is continue to listen to something over and over and over and over and over again without any action, because for me that's a stuck energy, and I'm not open to that. Wow, I can't believe how bright this is. You see that? Oh my goodness. Let me try and fix that a little bit. Okay. Like the sun is just coming through like so brightly. Okay, that's better. Sorry about that. So, it was just like, wow, like, ah. All right. So it does seem to me that you do see this. If you see you're doing this to somebody, stop and say, you know what? I'm sorry. I feel like I've dominated the airwaves for about the last 6 months. And, this is, that's not really fair. I feel like I've eaten up all the airtime. So if you're doing that, pay attention, be very self-aware when things like that happen. It doesn't mean your friends are ever going to say it to you, but you will notice if you're not able to really spend time with them anymore. If they say no a lot more, then that's kind of a red flag. I feel like you're integrating whatever wisdom and knowledge. I just feel like people who do that, who talk about the same thing over and over again, they're, if, especially if they're asking for advice and then they don't take it, it's like they're looking for a different answer. But sometimes they're looking for an answer that isn't the answer. They don't want to push back on their husband or wife. They don't want to, like if they're having a problem with them, they don't want to say it out loud. They want to tell everybody else about it, but they don't want to do anything about it. If they're having trouble with their boss, a lot of people find that intimidating to go into a boss and say, hey, I'm having trouble with you. I'm having trouble communicating. But I think it's very honest. I think we're starting this reading with an Ace of Swords. I think that's what's really important right now is some honesty. And in Virgo time, it's needing to be honestly aligned with our own health and well-being. So that's a yardstick for you. That's a measurement. And I think by doing this, whoever this is with, whoever you have to communicate with, or whoever, even if you're the one saying no, or if you're the one going, oh my God, that's me. Oh my God, I'm the one that's doing that. No wonder my friend stopped calling me. And then take responsibility for it. Call them and say, you know what? I feel like I've been blah, 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 blah about my own problems for a really long time. I'd like to apologize and see how you're doing. And then really listen. Okay. So there's some of you that need, or that might not be aware that that's a thing. And it is the other person's responsibility to set some kind of boundaries too. So this is a double kind of lesson. So you might be the one that needs to set boundaries, and it's going to take courage. But I feel like the cool thing is that once this kind of spinning in this, I don't know what to do, I don't know what to do, I don't know what to do, the awareness hits that the answer is something that maybe I don't want to do, or maybe I'm afraid of doing. Okay, that I'm not, oh my God, it keeps getting bright. All right, sun, I get the message. The sun is, The sun is trying to break through and tell us that we are like, there's some enlightenment going on here. So I'm super glad about that. There is a little apology here that says, I'm going to stop doing this. And the Five of Cups, I do feel like there is some kind of fallout from saying something that is now courageous. Like, okay, I'm going to stop dealing with my friends. I'm going to stop complaining about this situation, and I'm going to go and do something about it. So there is a sense, I'm going to clarify this Five of Cups here. I think this is what you're afraid of, that if you go and do the thing, then something bad is going to happen. And that's why a lot of people don't want to be upfront about their feelings, or they don't want to rock the boat. They don't want to say something that they'll regret later, especially we are in Mercury retrograde right now. So, I understand. Okay. So Five of Cups, please clarify the Five of Cups. Ace of Wands, Wheel of Fortune, Three of Swords, the Death card, the Ten of Wands, Page of Pentacles. Okay, so there is some, why are you doing that? There is some kind of new direction here that is going to require an end to a situation that has become too heavy. So there's a reason why you keep spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning. Or a person that you're dealing with keeps spinning and spinning and spinning. Because when they do say it out loud, or when you say it out loud, there is going to be change. And I feel like that's what you're afraid of. Okay, there is going to be change. And it's something like, it's one of those things, I remember when I was getting divorced, like once you say it, you cannot put it back in your mouth. And some of you are probably feeling that way about a particular situation. I do feel like there is a reason for you to do this. And I think that it's because something has come to an end. Ten of Wands. Wow, I can't believe the sun. I'm not going to ever ask the sun to go away. I'll just have to adjust the camera again in a minute. So this is definitely saying to me that there's something, you have a reason. There is a reason. And plus the World card, the closure here. There is a reason for you to wrap something up by speaking the truth about it. Fix it again. The sun's getting lower. I know, the sun's getting lower in the sky, so it's like, woo, right at me. All right, so there is some big change coming here. And I like the Page of Pentacles. I like the Page of Cups, the Page of Wands. There's this fresh new energy, Ace of Wands, Ace of Swords. The first step is the Ace of Swords. The first step is speak your truth in order to move forward. So the thing that has to do with some closure here, I do think by saying something, this is messages, this is conversation, this is Queen of Swords being honest about something, that you're finally cutting yourself loose and you're moving in a direction of something brand new, which I totally like, right? There's something brand new on the other side of this. Ten of Cups, Page of Cups, Page of Wands, something fresh. And the expectation that once you move on, once you've gotten out of this position, the expectation of something new coming in is valid. The Wheel of Fortune, and you will be transformed by this. You will be transformed by this. Some of you, parenthetically, some of you might have a friend who might be in love with you, or you might have somebody in love with you. And what's stopping this from moving forward is a conversation. Someone is not sharing their feelings. Someone is not leaving behind another person, and they might be friend zoning you right now. I mean, this is kind of a lighthearted kind of sub story here, but I feel like it's almost a little twin flamey, that if you have something to say to somebody and it's going to unstick you, so does your twin. Your twin has something to say that is going to create loss, that is going to allow you to come together. All right. So soulmates here. So there's definitely a conversation that needs to happen that's going to move things into the future. Great. So I'm going to continue on with this reading. I will look at each zodiac sign to give you some guidance. Link is in the description box below. Pathfinders. Let's just keep going. All right, I hope you enjoyed that video. If it was helpful to you, please consider liking this video and sharing it with anybody who might have a need for similar kind of information. And if you like this video, check out these videos.